Hello and welcome. Right, and now I did say I was going to run this down, but I thought I'd like to show you that I've, like, you know, the prices and all the rest of it, and why that we're down the money and all the rest of it. So, yeah, let's just take this down now. All that we've got really to do is to take us straight to harvest, which I think the soonest harvest is going to be August. In fact, they didn't really look like they were going to be ready for August either. So they look more like they're a bit later. We're doing terribly well with some of our products. The boarding factory is doing terribly well, which I'm glad of, because this map is a bit of a money pit. Yeah, I mean, the harvester that we just bought could have been up to like 460,000. So we were lucky we got it for about half that, but it still knocked us right. We're right up to 700 grand. Now we're right back down to 500,000 because of the Oxbow. So yeah, that's we could really do with a couple, at least a couple, to do this properly. Now, obviously, most farmers, you're going to struggle for a year while you try to do something like the scale of what we're trying to do here. So you might struggle on for a bit with like a too small header. But ideally, I'd like to have 2 of these, but I'm not sure that we're going to have a second one in time. And the one thing I did find when I was leasing the Oxbow, when I did a spinach harvest, it's not really a viable thing to lease one of these things, because it really does cost. Oh my life, Gordon Bennett. Whoa. Now that's the kind of repair I'm not used to. I don't want to ever get used to. Now that would have been about 30 odd grand if we were in the normal. It would have been double that had we been on full sort of things. That's tremendously terrible. So I don't think we can really afford to lease one or buy another one, because it would literally clear us out. So we've not got much time. Let's just go through till about 2 o'clock-ish and check the sales. That's all we've got to do really, is just our productions are working in the background. And we've done all that we can. 18,000 hold, that is good. That's going to earn us quite a lot of cash, for which we really again. I mean, obviously, when you say a lot of cash, it's going to earn us 25,000, which is a lot of cash. You know, when you consider this is a really good one, isn't it? Yeah, it's still quite a large. So I think we'll just buy and sell it. I mean, it's what you'd expect to be paying for that kind of an upgrade. I don't mean it's like expensive or anything. It is, but it's relatively as you'd expect it to be. Yeah, the one thing I would sort of say, but it's still interesting because it sets goals for you. We are obviously needing a lot of expensive equipment, a lot of expensive productions. So we're like constantly earning money and constantly spending money. But it is going to come into its own, because you're going to get to a certain point where you've bought all your harvesters and you've got everything you need. And then it's a matter of making some sort of spare cash. Right, so then let's go through till about 6-ish. Or maybe even 9. Another one of those. So there's 2 things that we can actually buy. That beautiful bit of kit. And that beautiful bit of kit as well. Fantastic. Let's go through till 12-ish. Oh, no, that was a good tick up. Oh, another one of those. Wow. Another one of those beautiful things. That's a very good price. if we weren't like just reeling from like what we've just bought, I might actually have been tempted to buy a second one. Yeah, they are. I think it would have like really sent us where we need to be. But again, the thing we need the most is another one of the special harvesters. I mean, we've got again, yeah, when we bought those other two harvesters for the trees. Excuse me, that came from nowhere. I just yeah, we'll use this again. It's a biggie. Yeah, there's sort of been a lot of specialist equipment. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's in real life, most farmers would probably specialize in one thing, but this is sort of testing us because we've got to like buy lots and lots of different things to do lots of different things. Now, of course, I sort of thought that it would be a normal harvester. It's obviously now that I realize it's the Oxbow, I'm sort of thinking, well, why have you got a normal harvester? That's a good question. That's because I thought it might be a normal harvester. Silly me. Yeah, I don't. I must admit, I don't mind working hard, but there's like, you know, when you're doing a very large field, it's what put me off using 3 meter equipment was no man's land when you got that the Nordstein and like the equipment was it was a real vicious circle because the repair costs and it was right at the beginning of the game were exorbitantly high. You were damaging your equipment because it was old equipment. Well, then it was costing you a fortune to repair the equipment. Then you were going out because you couldn't afford, you'd got to rely on the sales at that time because you'd not got any money to buy anything extra because the cost was expensive. So it took me absolutely ages to get out of this thing. And I'd use the Nordstein over and over again with a massive field almost as big as a square. And we were only just sort of like making ends meet. And I got to hate the Nordstein because it was like, oh my life. And we must have done 7 or 8 years on that of like repeating that cycle before I actually got lucky a few times in the sales and actually got things that got us out of the vicious cycle. It was really terrible. It really was. Right, so let's go through till about 4-ish. Here we are yo-yoing on our on the prices on the our money. Oh, it's only go through till about 8. Oh, okay, 10 then. I think that we did actually order that when I was thinking of, we could go for a second. We did order that a long time ago, but you know, I've gone off the idea now because I don't really think, I wasn't really thinking of like, you know, what. Yeah, so it's just sort of a waste of time for us, really. Yeah, you should be able to push that, even though you wouldn't be able to use it. And then we shall have a good look because I think we may have some of the trees ready today. Oh, no, this is going to be fun. Yeah, it really would be a struggle, though, to make something like this turn that sharply. Wow, we're getting up there again, nearly 600,000, and we've got our harvester as well. How are we looking on everything that we're doing? Let's have a quick look. Wood chips are well and truly bursting out. Oh, the guar glue is also. Obviously, the wood is going elsewhere, which should be making the firewood, and it's got plenty of wood left as well. So firewood, timber plan, yeah, but the firewood is going. This is the thing I don't like about because all it's going to do is send it to the Segovian, and like just it's got 1 million liters, so it's just going to go on and on and on and on and on because you're calling for the distilled water, which is doing terribly well. I mean, terribly well. Now these are doing really brilliantly, so that it's going to really seriously make us some cash. I mean, seriously, I don't think I've ever seen it. No, I have actually seen them when they go about that high, but it does sort of beg the question. It's only August. We've got another like 4 months before we sell. So will they actually finish? And how are we looking on crops? Are we ready? Well, I think we are. Yeah, these two are ready to harvest. They're getting greener, and that one is nowhere near ready. So we have got one harvester to do. That's two giant fields. Oh my life. Is this one where we actually I don't know, I think everyone would want to see it, really. I do. I think this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be one of them dig deep sort of sessions, isn't it, really? Dig deep. The dig deep. So we're talking about depths that are just ridiculous. And we definitely need a second one of these for next year. This is going to be like hell. It is. It's going to put me off a 3.5 meter header size just as badly as the old Nordstein, which is thankfully no longer in the game. I'm glad nobody. It's every time I used to see that in FS22, I was like, no, and it was so popular as like the starting cedar. I was like, no, not the Nordstein, please, not the Nordstein. Right, okay. Can't remember. I don't think these have got. Oh, it looks beautiful though. That's one thing I'm definitely going to say. That looks absolutely gorgeous. It does. It just looks a little big. It does. There is no denying this fact. So then. Right. Are we going to set a work again and just keep the cameras going and do a time lapse? I think we will. I think that sounds like a good idea to me. We will have to, set this. So we do want to do it automatic, stop while unloading, combine self-unload. We also want to switch the minus 70% off. I don't want anything repairing. And we want to set the course. Is field 27, which we have not created yet. And it's still not letting me use the keyboard. It's very hit and miss. It is. I don't know what it is about this, because you're supposed to be able to press C, and it does work, because I have actually done it quite a few times, but it's very, very hit and miss. So 3.5 meters. Headlands, I should say about 14. Yeah, it's the tiny little things. It's going to be... No, I think more like 10. I think 14's a little bit too much. Not a lot too much. Now that looks a little bit better. It does. So 3.5, 27. And let's set this going on first waypoint. And I'm going to go and get a couple, I think, of trailers, which we're going to leave around the edge of this because it's definitely, yeah, I think also, no, not you. We'll use the lorry as well. I don't know what the yield is like. I can't imagine it being terribly good, if I'm honest. I just think it's going to be one of those. Well, I might be wrong. Yeah, let's not cast aspersions of being negative about something we haven't got a clue about. We could be stupendously good, or it might not be, or I mean, it's just like, let's not second guess. It's just we don't know. Anyway, it is time to go into a time lapse because this is going to be a monster of a harvest. I think we'll probably only aim for one field per session because it's really going to be quite terrible. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Well, I've got to be honest. This is sort of a problem that's very nice to have, but the yield on this is tremendous. We've been at this for hours. I'm literally, it's just, I mean, just look what we've got left. And we've already like filled, I've taken like 2 big things. It's obviously awkward because I can't, I mean, I suppose I'm in a unique place because I'm used to sticking things in production silos. But obviously these are unique field types, so you need to know what they're called to put them in your thing. Now, of course, I can figure that out. But I mean, I'm playing this now as a normal player. And I've got to be honest, I'd stick to my guns. I think you'd need 2 or 3 of these beasts to handle a field like this, and you'd still need to store them. There's not, I mean, you'd have to have a Hispano Cheaty 500,000 litre trailer to be able to keep charging up to the thing, because this is huge. How much we've already got out. We've filled all 3 of our trailers. We've got a 50 tonner, a 70 tonner and a 21 tonner all filled, and I've done 2 runs of nearly 70 tons, and this has got 15,000 litres in as well, and we've still probably, looking at this field, I would say we've got like 80% left, 75%. So we're talking a yield that's just so good, but the harvester's just not capable of like doing this quick enough because it's such a tiny, it's almost like sadism or masochism, this kind of like thing. Nobody would do this like this. I mean, in real life, farmers will do a field like this and it will take hours like this, but we play this as a game, so you're not going to want to spend 10 hours on a field like this as a game. It's just, yeah, like it's just too much, really. So I just don't know what to say, except this is definitely a session and then some. It really is. And we've got another field to do with this tiny little harvester. It's just, yeah, I'm down in tools for now, and I'm going to think about this because it's just, I mean, oh, don't get me wrong, we're going to do well. I mean, like, it's quite phenomenal what we've actually got in our, yeah, I mean, the lavender oil is already like 133,000 litres. We've got like another, we've got 200 odd thousand litres. Have you ever known a field in Farming Simulator to do 200,000? This is going to be 1 million litres, this type of field. I mean, I don't know whether lavender is that good, but I mean, it's like, this is filling up very quickly, and it's a horrible little harvester header. So I'm going to consider this, what our options are, whether it's to like convert a normal harvester into this or add this to one of my harvesters and use the 8-meter header. That is an option, probably the best of all options. So I might do that. We might actually, if it's still on sale. I bet you it's not as well. It's probably gone. Oh my life. This is something else. It really is. Yeah, it's blown my mind. I've been literally watching this and I'm like, am I making any progress? I mean, I'm watching. I've been watching a couple of episodes of a program because I knew it was going to take a while, but like, this is something else. That's why I didn't do this myself. Because I can't store anything anywhere, and I can't run it. We've not been given any kind of production silo in anything. So the map maker knows we've only got one option, and that is to run that up. Which means if you'd have known that, you'd really be better to actually own the fields around this set of things here. And that was the only way you do this. And these are obviously, they are a lot smaller too. Whereas we've, of course, chosen this area down here. So I'm just unsure as to what to do. Yeah, I mean, because just look at what we actually, the dinting we've done on this. I'm not exaggerating. There's probably 1 million litres there of that one. That's not much smaller. And they're not that big of fields. I mean, they are large, but like, this is just something else on another level I've never seen before with any kind of crop. Of course, it's nice. There was another map that I played that was sort of like that, where you guaranteed success, and it like gave you really super duper. Yeah, and I conquered that map, and we earned millions sort of straight away. Now, obviously, this has been done a lot better than that, in so much as for me to go the next step, I'd need to spend $1.25 million. Well, that's not a small change, but I mean, this harvester on its own, and I mean, we bought 2 other harvesters for doing our fruit trees, this area here, and we could really do with at least 2 or 3 of these harvesters to do this, and we've only been given a tiny weeny little harvester header. And this piece of equipment is expensive. We were lucky we got it in the sales. It's still, you'd need like a fleet of these. And the other thing is, you've got to ask yourself is, it is a game, but it's not supposed to be sadism where like I'm supposed to enjoy this game. You know, it's supposed to be an outlet. And this is what I was sort of saying earlier about Alien Jim's map and the equipment we'd got. It was sort of like a vicious circle that was like, and I always, of course, I am a bit of a terror for like not wanting to back down from a challenge like this. But also, you've got to be a bit realistic. It is an absolute killer. It is. I don't know anybody, unless a proper farmer. I've been going at this 2 hours. I would say there's 10 hours, literal hours of work on this with this kind of header. That's bordering on masochism or sadism, depending on the angle that you look at it from and who's inflicting the pain. But it really is that bad. It's just an insurmountable task. And I sort of did hint at this because I mean, I didn't realize it was going to be this bad. I mean, I don't think I've ever known a field that I couldn't dint seriously, but then I had usually a bigger, I've used these on little fields in Hutan Pantai, and they still took me a long time, but this is on a whole new level. It really is. So I'm going to down tools for now. I'm going to think about how I'm going to handle this. So all that remains for the session is to say thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey where we will not be beaten. And I'm going to say goodbye for now. Hello and welcome. Right, I have been busy and it paid off. It has. But yeah, we've got to... I'm going to lease it for now, but we're going to buy one. Yeah, with a header as well. But for now, we have at least got the ability to drop the lavender into our production silo, because I've been in and checked out the name of the field type, and I've added it to this particular silo, and also to the why am I not? Is that not actually? Why is it not actually showing the? Now, I was pressing the right button for this all along, and now all of a sudden it's not actually responding with opening its header. It's not even showing that actual thing. That is really strange. No, I know it in, but you're not giving me the option to... How strange. I wonder if it's another one of those that auto unloads. It just said it wouldn't fold. Oh my life. Oh wow, it does actual individual... Well, it's clever. It is. That's not bad. 4,000 litre pallets. Well, I didn't know you... Ooh. Wow. I would refuel the vehicle, but, like, why did it chuck the... Well, that's different. I didn't expect that. But why can I not refuel the vehicle when there's a tub right next to me? That seems a little bit strange. You've got to laugh at me sometimes. Yeah, I have been busy. I have literally... Oh, I need to also grab the... Oh, where did I stick? I must have left it up here. Yeah, telehandler tool. Yeah, so I went straight out and I went into the map placeables file and actually found out what the name of the field type was. Now I do realise that for most people though, this is not something you can actually normally do. It really is obviously a length that as a modder we can pop out and we can literally just do this, but I mean, and the other thing is obviously I've been fortunate in so much as I probably one of the only people that's actually got the production silos and has had them from very early on. Now I did try to release them. Giants were fully aware that I'd got the production silo. Aha, so that must be front loader on them. So where is mine? Where did we drop it? Now we ought to look on the yeah, let's have a look for the tools that we've actually got. My bet is it's down there somewhere. Ah, right, it's there. Yeah, let's reset it. We're going down. Oh, no, we're going down anyway. Well, let's not do reset unless it's necessary. Yeah, so let me show you. Yeah, while we're up here, though, first, it's far more important that I show you what I've been busy doing. So, yeah, I had to do it in 2 places. I have added it to this, so we need to buy this. And the other thing is we need to buy the header, but obviously we can't buy it. I realize this. We're going to lease it for now. I've only done one of the headers, the original, the header that I've worked on the most. This is my new one that I'm working on, not terribly actively, I might add. But yeah, you can see that it's got the lavender sign on it. It's only the lavender so far. I can easily add the mint as well, but we need to do, the thing is, what you do need to do is actually harvest the mint for me to know what the name of the mint is, and then I can actually make it, because I can copy the mint into this too. But for now, you know, we need to let's refuel that first and see if it'll actually accept that fuel, because I was gonna sell it straight away, but now I've just thought, well, yeah, but you need to like harvest the mint first, and we can only do that if we've got that. So what we're going to do is we're going to lease a Sublevimus with an 8.3, I think it is, 8.3 meter header, and that way it's not going to take us long. And the other thing is we can now run our stuff to our personal production silo, which is just across the way. I mean, that was what really got me, is because it's a real long trek up the top of the map over and over again. So yeah, to me it was like, wow, that was an awful long trek. I don't mind working hard, but that's what I was saying, that there's working hard and then there's like, you know, ridiculousness, and that I just found that was just a step too far, really. Right, so then we have, that is true, why is that not? Excuse me, apologies, that really did come from nowhere. Let's just try one of these. Now, I'm sure it should take this, as in it is in the... Ah, it is. No, it is working. Yeah. Thank goodness. Ooh. Now we need to tell it to keep, don't we? I thought it was on keep automatically. Ah, no, not the lavender. Okay, there you go. Ah, it won't be that. It's that Braven doesn't know that this lavender exists. Now, he obviously programs everything on keep, but this is a unique filter. I love to see how the game works, really, you know, like under the hood. Because it's sort of like nice when you get these moments of insight where you think, oh, of course, yes. So really, that needs to be like told to keep, which normally a known field type, it already tells it, because that's what Braven's mod does. It gives that option to it, so we should now, obviously we know it's going to work now. We can just like stick that in there, and it should stay in there this time. Right, okay, smashing. So I do like what he's done. He's been very, very busy with what he's done. It really has. That's quite amazing. I like the pallets as well. So 2,000 litre pallets, and they are even bigger pallets. I like it. Yeah, right. So then fuel. We need to allow. Grab the fuel and see where is its tank. Yeah, because they all have a fill place, like where the tank is. How am I supposed to know where the tank is? I can't believe it did that. Oh, at least it does do that. Oh. We just need to find the place where the... Oh, seriously? I can't really angle my thing much better than that. It's ridiculous. Okay. I can't believe it threw the diesel out. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Okay, I'm not sure where the tank is going to be, but let's just see. Can't believe it would do that. Right, so then we have another task for next session. So what we need to do is grab... Do we have to reconfigure this? No, not that. Do we need to reconfigure the harvester, or does it just harvest everything? We shall see. I think it will harvest everything. So what I'm going to do is, this is just a little recce, because we know this will harvest. Once I can harvest a little bit of this field, and I can like go out into the placeable spot, we can instantly, even if I don't know what it's called, I can go into the placeable spot afterwards, and then I can actually do the sublevemus and add that to this. Yeah, there are some tasks that are just so... I love the Castile de Leon. Okay. I did. You still. Right, brilliant. So all we need to do now is, if we don't stop dragging this seed box around, it's rather annoying, is stick that into... now this is going to take a little bit of effort, because we're going to need to run this up to the top. So let's do... I mean, it's a very high yield. Yeah, I've got to be honest, this is a very high yield plant. Both this and the lavender is quite phenomenal. I mean, as big a fields as they are. So our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to run a little bit of mint. Yeah, because the modder is Portuguese, Spanish, I don't think French, something like that. The language that he's written the mods in is not English. Yeah, he's... the names of the variables, it was lavenda, not lavender, but like lavenda, Lavenda. So it's like a completely different... yeah, we need to grab. So we need our fastest vehicle. We don't really want a very large trailer. Yeah, if we grab the Unimog, that is what I'm thinking. Yeah, these won't actually cope with the... where is the Unimog? Where is the Unimog? Aha, he's got the 70-tonner over the other side of the field. Right, smashing. If we grab this and stick this into the silo now that we can, I will grab the... that little bit, and I shall run it up, and then I will go out, and next session we will well, what I'd like to do is, in fact, yeah, that is true, we can at least now sell the harvester and order a Sublevimus, which we will do straight away. But we're also going to lease one. Or do we? No, it's too much. 3.5 meters. The other thing is, the really strange thing is, it didn't seem to be using all of its header. I was like thinking, why are you doing half rows? I know Courseplay occasionally does it. He'll do like the odd row. But it was nearly every row was like wrong, and I'm like, what? Why is this like this? I have no idea. But it certainly is a very high yield plant. It's beautiful as well, very, very pretty, which of course lavender really is. Oh, it's a very vivid colour. I wish I'd actually ordered the Unimogs back now. Right, so let's go grab that 9 tons. Let's order the Sublevimus now as well. I can't believe we actually have the header for this. It's just the irony of the situation really does. Yeah. Yeah, that we actually had one on hand, and that obviously at the time I let it go. But then the second I was like, oh, it could still be in the store, but no, it had gone, of course it had. So let's run this up to the... Well, the one good thing about running all over the map, though, I did actually find the place where the picture of the actual map was, and it was glorious. There's some real beauty. That's one thing that is fancy when you actually manage to see something like that, because it's a gorgeous place. And there's 2 or 3 fords very similarly in similar places too. So we'll run this up. And then I'm going to like scoot. In fact, I think we'll grab this in. And then I'll say my... no, I'm not going to say goodbye because this is... I just want to... we need to grab this and then I will be right back. From your perspective, I'll be like gone. So I'll stick this in, grab this, add that next session. And it will be an awful lot easier. So we need to lease one. So the other thing I need to do is, and I'll do that on cameras quickly. Let's just go and no, we can do it now. Yeah, it's done. The deal is done. Yeah, now we don't need it. I did notice it was worth a lot of cash. So we shall run this up, sell it, we've ordered that, but we will also lease Sublevimus and the header. And being as it is reasonable anyway as well, naturally it won't break the bank, and we should, well, the thing is, what I said about not breaking even with leasing a machine like this, because of the scale of the fruit that we've got with both of these, I wasn't sure whether the mint would be the same. I think we probably would have more than broken even with the leasing of like the harvester that's obviously been modified, but naturally the Oxbow, if you were to use a spinach and you'd got to lease it, bearing in mind it's got 2 crops admittedly, but you'd still have to lease it twice, and it was like 40 odd grand. And I think the crop that I had on the day that I leased it, I ran like I did a trick where I said like we'd been given it, you know, like a ploy for the Let's Play. But as I was sort of saying at the time, had we had to pay 40,000, we would have lost minus 30 from the cost of the crop that we actually got, which to me sort of pointed out, well, this is ridiculous. You know, you can't have such a high lease cost to it made no sense. And that's what I'm saying. From the perspective, these are the harvesters we've been given in FS25. There was absolutely no chance you could ever break even with certain crop types. The new crop types, you just couldn't do it. And I was like, well, that makes no sense at all again. Yeah, the only way you could really do it is by buying it in the sales. And that means you've got to be lucky to get the one that you want in the sales. Well, that's, again, not necessarily going to happen, is it? Ooh, right, okay, so... Fantastic. We will lease the Sublimus right now. Now that's palatable. And the header. Brilliant. Now that's better. Yeah, I've tried to alter the width of this because it didn't register in the shot properly. That's definitely better. It's still not quite right, but it's an awful lot better than it has been in the past. Although I'm still on it. Yeah, so I've not quite got the measurements right. So then I'm going to run that up to the top, and next session we're going to that's it. Apologies for the rough treatment. Watch that tree at the bottom as well. I wouldn't normally do this. Ooh, he says as he wallops there's a dent in the back of the tank. Yeah, I knew the roads, we've got a clear route, but, well, clearish. Right, so this is ready to rock and roll this coming session. I'm going to run up that 9 tons to the thing, so see you shortly.